If there's one thing the guys that play Raid Shadow Legends know how to do, is how to tell amazing stories paired with incredible graphics and all mixed into awesome marketing. Well, that's three, and that's exactly what I think, or what I know they're going to do with this Call of Arbiter animated series that is launching today. If you're watching this video, I hope you've already seen episode 1 after the trailer was already incredible. So remember, just for watching this series episode 1, you will get amazing rewards in game. But by the end of this video, which you actually want to watch to the end, I have some more rewards for you just for participating in this new Call of Arbiter animated series episode 1. So watch to find out how to win amazing rewards. 5 winners will get some amazing rewards for just participating in this one. So, but this is not just all the hype that is coming in right now. I'm not allowed to tell you what happened in episode 1. That will be spoiling it for you, right? That's why I highly encourage you to go watch it by yourself. So I will not talk about what's happening in episode 1. It's just gonna be awesome. That's all we know. So I also expect you not to spoil it in the comments below. That's it. Let others go watch it on the Raid official YouTube channel and find out what happened in the episode 1. We can all talk about it in the Discords later, but let's not spoil it for anybody else. But what I'll tell you about is the new champion that is launched as part of the Call of Arbiter promotions, right? This new champion will be a legendary champion available for free. What you have to do to get it is log in for 7 days, day 1, day 2, and day 3. You can skip days, no problem, but as long as you log in for 7 days, you will get this champion. He will be available to be picked up all the way from today, the 18th of May, all the way till July 23rd. That's a long time. So newer players who are just joining the game will have this champion to themselves. Now, I don't want to overhype new champions that come into Raid, but we've seen that whenever they do a login champion like this, a legendary one, Ninja, well, not the other dude after Ninja, the other ones have been all awesome champions we have been able to use in our content everywhere. So just Ninja is the one I can think about right now. Ronda is another one, Ronda Rousey. So anytime they do a login champion like this, is one that is game changing. If you come into the Raid for the first time, starting the game with this champion, it is strong. If you're already end game playing Raid for years and you get a login champion like this, it is still strong for your account. So make sure you log in and get this champion. In this video, I'm going to talk about his skill set and find out if it is even worth your time, if you think it's good to be picked up. So I'll head over to my graphics of him right here. The first graphic I have of him is this what do you call this thing now? His avatar. It does look like a champion that already exists in the game, kind of. It looks like his father though, because he's more scarred in his eyes, and yeah, it does look like Ultimate Gaelic. I wouldn't say Gaelic, but it does look like Ultimate Gaelic. I guess it pairs well with the fact that the new episode 1 that is coming up for this this Call of Arbiter is actually having to do with Gaelic, right? Let me see if you've already seen it. Yes, episode 1 that is dropping in a few hours, if you've already seen it, is having to do something have to do with story of Gaelic. So we are happy that they are adding this into the game, because all these champions, all these battles we are doing in this game is good to find out their stories. In case you're not big on reading the laws that have been added to this champion, everybody now has, or almost all of them now have a story behind them that you can find out by logging into the game and clicking the champion law right there. You can read it, but in case you're lazy to read this law, or you don't just have the time, you can watch it in the Raid animated series for these champions, and they'll all be woven together, I hope, and it will be an interesting one for sure. So that's something to take note of. Let me head back into this champion avatar and talk about him a little bit. I'll show you his skill set and whether it is worth getting for you. It's a free champion. Log in for 7 days. It's not like a fusion or anything. It's for free, and it's gonna come along with what do you call those things? Those early beginner lifesteal set, right? That newer players can obtain and use right there. Is it lifesteal? No, that's relentless set. No, perception. My eyes are seeing things. It's coming in with some perception set. That means accuracy, right? What does that mean? This champion will be requiring a lot of accuracy. They are giving you lots of perception set right there, which you can always obtain from the forge, where they're starting you off right, so you don't say you don't have gear to use him, right? All right, let's find out what else we know about this champion in terms of his character design. The next diagram I want to show you is actually his full build right there. He does look like Gaelic. Ultimate Gaelic, that is. He does look like him, even with the weapon and the character design. We will see the 360 view soon, but that's the next one I want to show you. He's also green. Is Gaelic green? Let me find out if it's actually similar, because I guess is his cousin or it has to be his grandfather, something. I'd love to see the story behind this to find out how they all, pair well together. Let me see who he actually looks like from the Ox faction, right? That's where they all belong. And the person I'm talking about is none other than, where is he? This dude, Ultimate Gaelic. So they do kind of look similar, right? I'm not crazy, right? Well, he doesn't have the mohawk, right? He's young, so he's allowed to go in with the mohawk. He does have one weapon instead of two. The weapons also look kind of similar. He doesn't need two weapons to overcompensate for anything. But check out the metal placed in the middle of his belly. It's almost the same, right? All right, we'll see them in game soon. By the time you're watching this video, this champion is already in game for you to start day one collecting. Day one, you can even see his character design in the Ox faction. Right now when I'm recording, he's not yet in there, but by the time you're watching this video, he's already in there. The next character view I want to see of him is the full 360 view right there. Boom. Full 360 view of his name. I've not mentioned his name yet. I'm drum roll. Oh, he does have a second weapon, but it's lashed behind his back right here, and he's huge, bigger than the first one in his arm. And check out the weapon, it's actually burning flames. Even his background is showing like burning flame, like he belongs to the Demon Spawn faction, right? But no, this is a Ox faction champion. You can see it from the tooth hanging out of his mouth right there. That's an Ox faction champion. So what is his name? What is this champion's name? His name is Artak. Artak is his name, and let me show you his champion skills and everything right there, which we will break down in this video and find out how awesome he will be, where you can use him in the game and all that good stuff. And then maybe at the end I'll rate him out of 1 to 10 where he ranks amongst the free champions they've released as login champions. So that's his name, Artak, Artak or Artak, and however you want to pronounce it. It's not Attak. So his A1, let's find out what he does. We've seen his character design. We can already tell he's a copy of an already existing champion with some changes done, but he's an HP based legendary champion from the Ox faction with magic affinity right there. Not void, not void, we'll take it. But his A1, Chaos Razor, attacks all enemies. That's an A1 with AoE. Where do you see that? A1 with AoE is awesome. It's better than a single target A1, especially when the A1 doesn't do much, right? But if it's an AoE, it's always awesome. You don't always need it in all content though. You actually want to sometimes don't hit some enemies, but A1's AoE is great most places. It has a 35% chance of extending the duration of any HP burn debuffs on each target by 1 turn. Does that mean he actually places that HP burn? I hope so. I hope so. If he's gonna increase duration of HP burn, we hope he places it. I'm just reading from the first skill. This is the first time I'm seeing it. So that's a 45% chance when you book this champion up of extending the duration of any HP burn. That's good. So that's a useful A1, extremely useful, especially if he places the HP burn on himself or by himself. On the A2 Dogs of War skill, it also attacks all enemies. Before attacking, it instantly activates any HP burn. Okay, we hope that skill doesn't hit, right? So the activation will happen before he even hits. So we hope that will mean that he can activate HP burn even against negative affinity champions. That's what it means, because if he hits like most champions, like Ninja, when he hits, he activates the HP burn. He gets weak hit sometimes and it doesn't activate the HP burn. So if this happens where he just magically activates the HP burn before he goes in and does a physical hit, it will mean that it will even happen against weak affinity spirit affinity champions, which will be awesome way of activating HP burn, better than what we already have in the game. So if he instantly activates HP burn debuffs on all enemies, it means not just one enemy will burn and burn everybody. Everybody will be burned for each of the enemies HP burn on them. So instead of seeing 20, 20, 20, 20 for 4 enemies, you might see 4 20s. That's a lot of HP burning. We'll have to test that in battle to see actually how it works. I can't wait, but just from theory, I think that's how it should work. When you activate HP burn on 4 people, you should see 4 numbers, because it applies to everybody in the team, right? Has a 75% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. Hydra. Already I'm seeing that this champion will be a PvE champion. HP burn is still not very valuable in PvP content, but a lot of places, Doom Tower, Hydra, Sand Devil, even this other Iron Twins Fortress, there are lots of places in Raid Shadow Legends. Ice Golem, Dragon, even the Fire Knight, maybe not sure, but there are lots of places to use HP burn, so you cannot go wrong with this ability right here. It also had decreased attack, so you take less damage from the enemies. So what else is good about this champion? Finally, we are down to the A3, which attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit has a 75% chance, which is booked up to 100. They should just say 100 and remove these booking things. All right, 100% chance of placing HP burn debuff on all enemies for 2 turns. He attacks 2 times though. The first hit does the HP burning. What does the second hit do? Restores this champion destroy max HP by 10%. So if his max HP is destroyed, this skill will also restore it by 10% for each HP burn debuff placed by this skill. So if he places 4 HP burn on the enemies, he will get his max HP that has been destroyed 40% just there. So that means it will always clear off any destroyed max HP that has been applied to him. We normally bring somebody else in the team to do that for us. A healer is there with the right blessing to always do that, restore max HP that has been destroyed. But if he's doing it for himself, maybe you don't need him to be paired with that type of healer. That healer can do it for everybody else, but he can take care of himself whenever this skill comes around, which is on a 3-turn cooldown. Same with the A2. He will just restore his max HP. I'm not that crazy about that part of the skill. Let me be clear. I'm not that crazy about it. But for the Hydra, where they keep decreasing your max HP, or for some other content like where again the Sand Devil Necropolis, he keeps decreasing your max HP. That's a good. So maybe they are bringing this champion in as an answer to Sand Devil, because maybe some people are no longer pushing it to the level where they expect them to 25. Everybody's busy farming it at level 7 and 14. So maybe this is an answer to that Sand Devil Necropolis right there. All right, what else? It restores this max HP for each HP burn debuff placed by this skill. Heals the champion by 5% of their max HP for each HP burn debuff attempted, blocked, or resisted by the enemy. That's too conditional. So they are trying to add a little bit of healing in right here if the HP burn is not placed. Attempt, blocked, or resisted. So if it's blocked, if it's resisted, he gets 5% heal. So if nobody gets the HP burn, 20% heal, I guess. It's too conditional to be a reliable way of healing this champion. That's what I'm saying. You always want to pair this champion up with a healer, reviver, whatever, to keep him alive. This should not be the way he keeps himself alive, except you have this champion built in one of those crazy regen set, and then healing goes crazy, and this can help with that healing. All right, that's it right here. We know that this A3 is just a HP burn. He attacks 2 times. What I'm really concerned about, what does the second hit do? It says the first hit places the HP burn on all enemies. What does the second hit do? I thought this second hit would do something else, you see? So why would we just specify the first hit places HP burn? Second hit does all this other restore and heal. I don't get what the second hit does. It doesn't specify what the second hit does. Normally when we see this, it says something else in another paragraph that the second hit does something else. But this part, they left that second hit part out, or they forgot about it. I don't know. We'll see him when it happens in battle to see what that second hit actually does. Maybe it's just pure damage. All right, what does this champion passive do? I'm blocking that part. Let me take myself a little bit away from there. All right, burning blood passive. Whenever a HP burn debuff is activated, destroys this champion's max HP by 5%. I was here thinking it's the bosses that will be destroying my max HP, like the Sand Devil and the Hydra. I didn't know that he actually destroys his own max HP. He can destroy his own max HP by up to 50%. So if he destroys his max HP up to 50%, he's relying on himself to place 4 HP burn or 5 whatever to bring his max HP back to 100%. That's gonna get him killed. That's the way I'm saying it, because no amount of regen sets, or you put this champion with a miracle heal, because that should help a little bit. Damn, that's very counterintuitive. Destroys max HP by up to 50%. I know 5% seems like it's just a little bit, and by placing HP burn twice, you should have taken down the enemy. But against bosses, I guess this will be better, because he'll be able to place it just on one boss, and that's 5%. He places it again 5%. But when he places it, by the time it gets around to hit this is skill, it's gonna just restore it back, right? So maybe at the same time he's placing the HP burn on the first hit, this restore will just clear, makes him full max HP again. So maybe he places the HP burn, gets his max HP destroyed, then that part of the skill comes in where he restores his max HP by 10% for each message, for each HP burn, then it restores back. I want to see this in battle, so he just goes max HP destroyed, max HP restored, without going around to his turns for that to happen. This is my first impression of this skill, so we will have to see it in battle to see it. But I don't like this part of the skill. Your passive should help you, not weigh you down. This passive makes you not want to use him as an HP burn champion in some content, because you're just gonna place the HP burn one time, decrease your max HP by 40%, get hit once by the Hydra head or one enemy, and you're down. Then I need to revive you, because destroying your max HP by 50% is huge in long form battles that go on for long. But maybe you have somebody else restoring it, and he can do it by himself if even restore this max HP destroyed by 10% for each HP burn debuff placed by this skill. It destroys the max HP whenever the HP burn is activated. That's the part I missed out on. So whenever HP burn is activated, so placing it doesn't destroy your max HP. Okay, so activating it destroys your max HP. That's something a little bit different. So he places it, no destroy max HP happens. Then when he goes in to activate it, does he have anything that activates it? On his A1, it doesn't activate it. It extends the duration. On his A2, it does activate it. So his A2 is what will get him killed. Before attacking, instantly activates any HP burn debuff on each enemy. So we have a chance, we have an opportunity to turn off this A2 if we know that's going to be a problem. You just want him placing HP burn on A3, turn off this A2 so he doesn't make himself a liability in your teams. Now I'll get that one a little bit clear. All right, increase this champion's crit damage. This champion's damage, crit damage, and defense by 1% for each 1% of their destroys max HP. Also increases this champion's speed and resistance by 2% for each 1% of destroys max HP. I still think he's gonna die. I don't care whether you're increasing his speed, increasing resistance, increasing his damage and all that. He's gonna die, because most champions who build with high accuracy, we usually don't build them with that same time with crit rate and crit damage. So it depends on where you use him though, but in my experience, most HP burn champion we see in raid normally just come there with high accuracy and survivability, not really concerned about crit rate and crit damage. But I might be wrong for his own specific instance. He might become a A1 nuker or A2 nuker when his max HP has been destroyed for content like the Hydra. We'll have to see it, like I said. But I'm not very happy about that passive. But we have a solution for the passive. Turn off the A2. Don't activate HP bonds. Let the enemies naturally take their turns and bond themselves. You're not rushing anywhere activating HP bond when you don't have any plan of putting it up again for 3 turns. So just wait for it to cycle naturally before they bond themselves. 2-turn HP bond, you are back to this your A3 skill. That's what I think. I think this A2 will be a detriment to his survivability. Even if it increases his damage, I'm not building this type of champion with high crit rate, high crit damage. I want to focus on high accuracy, 400, maybe high resistance, 400, 300. That's what I'm thinking about this type of build. And so he can always land the HP bond, not concerned about activating it at all. Except somebody's gonna cleanse the HP bond, then you're like, let me bond it and activate. All right, that's what I think about this dude, Artak, as his name is called. He's an awesome champion to be added into the game. I might have been getting wrong his skills, but I think I have it right now. HP bond champion, which is always perfect if you're new to raid and you're coming in and this is your first legendary or your third one. Get into the spider and burn everything that exists right there. Just have to keep him alive with somebody who is either controlling the spiderlings or provoking or stunning, whatever, so he can be alive long enough to do his burn. So he will be used in the early game content like that, and Ice Golem and Dragon, and all the way to the end game content like Doom Tower and Hydra. Awesome champion. What do I rate him? 1 to 10. I'll give this champion a 7, just because it's that passive. I just did a guide about some other Walking Tomb Drench who are currently enjoying placing HP bond and activating it on that A1 without any negative passive weighing him down like this. So A1 poison, A1 activation of HP bond versus A2 activation of HP bond, that will decrease your max HP, increase your damage, give you an opportunity to restore the destroyed max HP. Now I'm saying all this because I don't want to pair this champion with somebody else who restore his max HP. But that only applies in the Sand Devil, where you need the boss to be asleep before your max HP is restored to max. In other content, you don't need that type of condition. You can simply restore anybody's max HP by simply healing them with a Demeter. It just clears up. There are many ways to clear max HP that have been destroyed. Besides, this is A3 that you have to wait for, so it doesn't die. All right, that's my initial thoughts about this champion. I'll not go long about him anymore. I think I just explained him in longer form content. Hopefully you guys understand it a little bit better. So I think he's coming into the game. Let me know what you think about him. What rating are you going to give him? Where you're going to use him? I might not use him in my end game account. He'll just be chilling, but I'll show him off definitely in some content for you guys. Let me know what you think about this new champion, Artak, that is coming into this game today. Make sure you head over there and log in daily and obtain him. All right, it's time for me to tell you how to enter for this giveaway for the first episode 1 of the Call of Arbiter animated series. All you have to do in this video that you're watching right now, comment. Leave a comment. 5 words only. That's the only rule. 5 words only. What you think about episode 1, not the entire trailer or whatever, only episode 1. But guess what? You can't leave any spoilers. That's the most challenging part. So I'll give you an example. So you cannot say, oh, I like the part when Gaelic hits Arbiter on the head with the stick. That's a spoiler. We don't want to hear details, right? Just tell us how awesome the design, how awesome the character are, or something simple. This is the best animated series I've seen since Naruto. I don't want to compare, but you know what I mean. So by your comments, we'll pick up 5 winners. 5 winners will leave 5 words. That's the challenge. Don't go leaving a long sentence about the animated series. We just want 5 words that best describe what you thought of episode 1. That's the most challenging part. So see how hard it was for me to even think of 5 words that did not have to spoil it. So remember, don't put any spoilers in the comment. I will delete your comment if you spoil the for anybody who has not seen it. So in game right there, you can click to go watch it. The full episode 1 has been released by the time you're seeing this video, and I'll pin it right here right now as this video is ending. Click right now to watch episode 1 so you can come back to this video and leave a comment. And what rewards will be waiting for you is 200 energy, 1 5-star chicken, some multi battles, 1 XP boost, and a lot of other stuff that will be coming up next Thursday. Whenever new episodes come up, there will always be these giveaways. We'll give it out in a different way, of course, but today's challenge is to leave 5 words for episode 1 and watch the series right here. Later, guys.